Good morning, everybody. Ah, you're so quick. Amazing.
I'm here.
This is great. Usually it takes a few minutes, so this is awesome.
Sarah, right?
Yes, it's Gia.
Yep, nice to meet you. How's your morning? Well,
Woo.
good morning.
It's good. Yeah. Are you based in LA as well?
I live in San Francisco, but Pacific time, yeah.
Oh, I love it up there. It's so cool.
Mhm.
Weather's like 100 degrees right now. So,
Where do you live?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh, it's November. I was hoping for some like chill, but it feels like summer.
I know. You know what? That's kind of California in general. Our summer is like extended into fall. It's still pretty warm here in San Francisco. It'll get cold probably January.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, that's
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, all right. Well, it is 8 a.m. So we are just going to dive.
Let's do it.
All
Good
right.
morning, everybody, and welcome to our live stream. I'm Gia. I'm a meditation teacher and spiritual guide. So I teach meditation on my YouTube channel, and I have lots of meditations on Insight Timer, on JoyScore. That's how JoyScore and I got connected. They found my meditations, and my work has been on the app for a couple of years. And I'm also a sound healer, and I work with clients, I work with groups, and I'm also becoming a nurse. So I'm going back to
Oh,
school now to continue growing and learning, and I'm excited to implement my healing tools in a new way as a nurse. So yeah, I'm excited to work with JoyScore because I love that they're taking mental health and making it really tangible. I think
mhm.
for a long time, mental health has seemed so abstract in a way. Like, well, I don't know how to find happiness. I don't know how to find joy. And the fact that you can put a score on it is so tangible and quantifiable and so easy. Like, I love that they're bringing mental health and bringing it into the physical and into a practical world. And so I suggest all of you guys, if you're not on the app yet, to check it out. And for me, I find that gratitude, which is our topic today, is a doorway to joy. So I love that we're talking about gratitude, and it leads right into becoming more joyful.
So true. And your talk today is how to find gratitude in our challenges. So I'm
Yes.
super this because, yeah, I feel like people coming out of the pandemic, I feel like there's like a spirit of kind of hopefulness. Um, yeah, so I'm pumped to hear what you have to say about this, Gia.
Yay. Yeah, let's dive into it.
Okay.
You might see me look at my laptop over here every once in a while to check out
Totally good.
okay. um, well, okay, so we know it's easy to find gratitude for the good things in our life, right? Like, that's simple. But it's really hard to find gratitude for our challenges. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, is how to do that. But first of all, why? I think we have to address the question, why do we want or have to find gratitude in our challenges? Can't we just hate the things that suck? Like, can't we just hate when things go wrong and like be mad about it? And I want to validate everyone's feelings by saying, yes, like, we actually need to explore and feel our pain and our frustration and dislike the things that we dislike. That's an important part of the process. But when we can take it a step further and then find gratitude for what we experience, those challenges we experience, I see this as unlocking the potential energy within a challenge. And again, we step from frustration back into joy. And so gratitude becomes that doorway through which we can feel happy again, we can feel inspired, we can make change. So I think of our challenges as this opportunity for growth. And gratitude is one of the tools we can use to unlock that potential energy, learn from it, make moves, make something happen, and become a better person. It frees us from fear because we know how to take a more positive perspective. It helps us become who we're meant to be. So I see gratitude as like a major change maker. And again, it's not that we need to pretend like our challenges aren't difficult. Gratitude is the next step in the process. So, first step is accept that your challenges are upsetting. And I think first step is we have to honor those negative emotions first.
Right.
And then we can really be honest about how we're feeling. And once we move through those feelings, gratitude can help us see where there's room to grow and see who we want to become now. So I thought of a little analogy. It's a little silly, but stick with me. Um, let's just say that our challenges are like lumps of coal. Not fun, right? Like it's easy to feel upset that we just got handed a lump of coal. I mean, we're moving into holiday season, so think of Christmas. Santa hands you a lump of coal. That's easy to feel bad about, easy to feel negative about. But what we don't realize in that moment is that coal has a potential energy to become fire. And let's just say that gratitude is this magical elixir that lights the coals on fire and becomes flames, where flames then have energy. Flames have passion. Flames represent love. They represent action. They represent change. Fire represents transformation. So I really think that gratitude can help us take our challenges and help us be transformed by them into a new, better, higher version of ourselves. So think of your challenges as coals, and when you're able to apply the magical elixir of gratitude, you're able to ignite those coals into flames, burn your own fire. This fire can change you, it can transform your life, it can help you find your passion, help you find your joy, help you find love in your life. Like fire has so much energy and so much symbolism in it. So gratitude can help us just turn coals into flames, which can then change our lives for the better. So I have a little 3-step process, which I already explained, but I'll go over it again. Step 1, accept that your challenges are difficult and that you have every right to feel upset. So step 1, honor those feelings. Validate what you feel, accept that it is a challenge. Step 2, remember that you can make magic out of the situation. And sometimes that requires getting creative and opening up our mind to seeing something we're grateful for. And step 3 is let your gratitude, like the flames of transformation, change you and make you better. And that's what I love about this teaching, is that we have to let life change us. I think so many times we want to hold on to like who we've been or what we've been doing, and we get comfortable with a certain thing or a certain lifestyle or a certain relationship or a certain version of ourselves. And life wants to change us because life is always changing, and challenges come our way and they ask us to grow. And gratitude can help give us that fuel to see how to grow inside of our changes. So more specifically, I wanted to give you guys 3 questions you can ask yourself to help you find gratitude in those challenges. So the first question is, how is this challenge helping me grow as a person? So instead of thinking, this shouldn't be happening and I'm angry about this and this is someone else's fault, I need to address it with them and make it right. Instead, if we could pause and see the challenge as an opportunity to grow, how is this helping me grow as a person? Is this asking me to become more patient? Is this situation asking me to become more honest? Is this situation asking me to forgive and to be kind? So there's a million ways in which our life is pulling us into a better, higher version of ourselves. Each challenge can give us a new way to grow. So the first question is, how is this challenge helping me grow as a person? The second question you can ask yourself to transmute coals into flames is, who do I want to become now as a result of this challenge? And I like that it kind of gives us a little bit more of our power back to say, well, who do I want to become? Because we can't control all these outside circumstances. But if we can pause and say, well, but I can control my inside, I can control my internal world. So who do I want to become now? And how is this challenge inviting me to step into a new, higher, better version of myself. So maybe, you can imagine your ideal self and who that person is and say, well, look, I want to be someone who's very giving. This challenge is showing me that I want to become a more giving person, or I want to become a stronger person. I want to become a more brave person. I want to become a softer person. There's all these ways in which we can show up as a new version of ourselves because our challenges help us morph and transform. And the third and final question is, what are the positive things that are coming along with this challenge? So this kind of goes back to being grateful for the good things as well as the bad. And it's nice to take a dose of that, positivity along with our challenges, because so often we can look at our challenges from a new perspective and say, well, it could have been worse. Like, think of all these things that did go right. And think of these people that helped out and showed up in the perfect moment. Right. And there's good that comes along with the challenge. And so question 3 can help us reframe and say, okay, it's not all bad. And I'm grateful that this happened, even though this was so painful and difficult for me. This goodness came along with it. And now I'm going to take the pain and I'm going to let it transform me so that I can show up as a better version of myself. So that's what I wanted to share.
This is so amazing. I just want when you said challenges, I love that you were like, ask the challenge, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Do you feel like every challenge that comes to us is really like, something being presented to pivot us, to change us, to make us stronger in a certain area?
I think it has every challenge has the potential to. Yeah. Some things are bigger, some things are smaller in our lives. But it's up to us to be the change makers and to respond to life. And so, certain things it'll be like, well, that was a bad day, but I'm just going to move on and we don't need to process it too much. Other things require a lot of processing and we may have painful feelings about it for a long time. And then that really has a huge potential for change and growth. So it's up to us, like I said, there's nothing wrong with just feeling bad about stuff that's hard. I think we need to give ourselves the space and the validity to just like feel bad. Sometimes things just suck. And the last thing that we need to do is to say, oh, well, I'm grateful that this happened, so I'm just going to ignore all of my painful feelings. We don't want to bypass all the difficult part, because that's actually the potential energy. The feelings that we struggle with are the energy inside the coals that create the fire. So we can't just say, well, I'm not even upset, that didn't even bother me, and just mentally ignore it or write it off. We have to actually feel the pain of it, feel the disappointment of it, feel the anger inside of it. And only then is that the tool that helps us show up as a new version of ourselves. So, sorry, I kind of answered your question and then...
Amazing. I was thinking about, as you were talking, something I've noticed in life is that as an adult, it seems to be much harder for adults to change, to pivot, to find the gratitude. I find children can find it much easier. And I'm curious, do you think that is a result of people not wanting to change their plan for life? Why do we become less grateful as adults? Is it just life got us?
I think so. I think we do kind of get set in our ways, and we think that the more we learn, the more we have control over things. I think like sometimes it's just a matter of wanting control. And as adults, we're like, I worked so hard to get to this place in my life, and it's been up to me, and I choose, and I want this. And we get a little bit stuck in our ways with that, and a little bit less flexible to just grow and change. When you're young, like everything's changing all the time. So I think you're in a constant process of just like surrendering the old way, becoming the new. Think of how much our bodies and our minds change when we're young. It's like every day we're a new version of ourselves. And when we reach adulthood, even though we're still changing, we think, okay, I have it figured out. Like, I know who I am, I know what I want, and like this life is up to me, I have control over things. But then lo and behold, we don't control most of it, and things just happen in life, and we have to roll with it and we have to go along with it. So I do think we get comfortable, but maybe it's coming from just wanting to control outcomes, and then we get really upset when those outcomes don't pan out.
Yeah, that's very real. And you are so well versed in this area. And I'm curious, in your personal life, I feel like, when you find the world of mental health, it's kind of like, oh, there's all these solutions, for things going on in our life. And I'm curious, like, what moment in life did you start learning how to intuitively heal in meditation? Did somebody come into your life and inspire you or influence you, or this was like a path you discovered on your own?
Um, do you mean specifically with like finding gratitude for my challenges, or just like in general meditation and spirituality?
Yeah, specifically finding gratitude for your challenges. And yeah, kind of branching off how you learned about meditation, because I find people ask me a lot, like, how do you know about this? Because it's not taught in school systems, so it's
Yeah.
really that addicting.
Well, I guess the two things are linked actually in my story. I mean, at this point, I face challenges all of the time. I'm a very emotional person, and it's very, I think that's why I like to teach about this, is because I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, I'm a highly emotional person. I like used to pout and just go into these like, temper tantrums when I was young, and some of that still feels like I feel all those big emotions. So I know it inside and out, and that's why I love to teach about it. So I was gonna say, I experience all these difficulties all the time, and I'm constantly working on transforming them into flames. But I would say a very like pivotal challenge I faced when I was young that got me started on this whole journey was when I was like 15, I developed an eating disorder, and I suffered and struggled with it for a long time, but mostly like all of high school and college. I really, really struggled, and it was so painful. Like, this was the biggest challenge, and to be comfortable in my body, to accept this body, to feel at home, to feel at peace. And in college I discovered yoga, and yoga was a doorway that helped me start to feel at home in my body and start to appreciate my body beyond what it looks like, but appreciate it for its health and for its vitality, and being the home for my soul. And so from yoga, then I became introduced to meditation. And, I've been meditating pretty much since then, and started teaching meditation. It all just kind of unfolded for me naturally, where I kept learning, I kept growing, and I kept discovering more and reading books.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say finding the gratitude for my eating disorder was a huge pivotal shift for me that kind of laid the groundwork for so many other transformations of mine. And I guess I can say now, many years later, I still struggle sometimes with feeling good in my body. But I guess the experience has given me so much depth. Like, I can say, even more than just like learning how to appreciate my body, or like learning how to just enjoy my breath or movement, stuff like that, suffering so deeply has given me this depth to have compassion for others and to hold space for others and to be a healer and to be a teacher. So, to go to the questions, who do I want to become now as a result of this challenge? Like, I want to be someone who's there for others in their pain, who's there to hold space and just embrace people, and connect with people who have big emotions too, and say, I get it. Like, let's go through this together. Like, I've walked through the darkness of my pain, and I see that it's a gift, and I want to share that with others. So more than just a personal level of overcoming my own body image issues, I love that this challenge has made me the person I am in the world, who wants to help and support others. Like, that's how big this
Yeah.
transformation can be. It's not just about you, it's about you helping the whole world. What
Yeah.
if every challenge was helping you become somebody who can serve the planet and serve others with your gifts now?
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah, I'm on this train 1,000%. Yeah, I think, gosh, just taking that note of like our challenges can help the world, not just ourselves, is such an amazing mindset because, as Instagram and all these social media platforms pop up, it's so easy to like steer to being too self-focused. It kind of ignites that. So I feel like a challenge in our life now is really, okay, let's think about others in this world suffering.
Yeah, yeah, because it's easy to just focus on yourself. Like, well, this challenge is hard for me, and like, what do I want of it, and who do I want to be? And it's good to focus on ourselves, but then we have to use that fuel to then share with others. I think that's where like these flames of transformation end up burning so brightly. We become a light for others because of the pain we face. We light a fire inside of us, and that fire helps guide others. That fire helps call out the light in others. And whether we like want to or not, I think we just become better able to connect. We become better able to serve. When we really are transformed by our challenges, we become that next version of ourselves that has more compassion, that is more patient, that just has more kindness for others because we let our pain transform us. And gratitude was the vehicle.
Wow. Yeah, that's such a great. And then the coal analogy, I feel like we all need to just write this down. Yeah, before we get to questions, I just have to brag about you and talk about this for a moment. So Gia is a sound healer, for those who don't know, and I went on your website and listened to your music, and I was moved to tears.
Oh,
Oh, my goodness, I felt healed listening to your music.
oh my God, thank you.
Really in awe. And so with that said, I'm like curious, I don't know much about sound healing. Is this a way you feel like we as humans can find gratitude in our lives for challenges?
Wow, great question. I've never thought of it that way, but I think sound is a vehicle for good energy, for healing energy. I think sound can help us move our pain in a way. So
Mm,
when I do a sound healing session for a client, sometimes we're just moving sound through the body and through the energy field so that we can shift some of the energy that's stuck in pain.
right.
I think a lot of times when we're struggling to feel our feelings, which is normal, like we don't want to feel the pain, we push it down, we ignore it, but it gets trapped in the body. I think sound can really help us shift the energy that's stuck and needs to be felt and needs to be released. And
Mm,
from there, we see the light of gratitude because we're like, oh, I finally let myself feel hurt. I finally let that disappointment through. I finally let the anger come out in a healthy way through sound, through breath. And
mm,
now gratitude is more readily available to me because I have felt those feelings and I have shifted my energy. I'm ready to now be in the transformation process. So I think sound is just kind of a tool we can use to move energy, to come back into the moment. And yes, I think like when you get into it, you can experience sound in such a way of gratitude. When you feel tapped into it, it, sound is the energy of the universe. And so when you really meditate on sound and vibe with it and go there, it,
yeah.
it can definitely bring you into states of gratitude as well.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great tool. Not many people speak about that, but after listening to your music, because I was feeling quite down the other day, I was talking to a friend and she was sad and I'm very empathetic. And then I just was like hurting for her. But hearing your music, I just kind of felt this whole shift inside of me.
Oh,
Uh,
you're so sweet. I love that.
uh,
And can I just say that my music that I've created has mostly come from pain? I mean, I have created a lot of music and joy, but
yeah,
the most transformative vehicle, like the stuff that I've written that's just the most transformative has come from pain. And so like yeah, like it's a vehicle for me, it's a doorway for me, but when you listen to it, it can help you transform your feelings as well. So again, I'm like such a proponent of letting yourself be emotional, like letting yourself turn those feelings into art, whether it's music or writing in a journal or creating something with your hands, cooking, even painting something. Our pain, when we express through art, becomes released and we see gratitude. We're transformed by it. We become a new version of ourselves.
oh,
Oh,
right.
Deeksha asked, what kind of sounds are they? Nature, singing bowl? I have a lot of different things, but I'm not sure what you listen to, Sarah. I'm curious, but I have like an album with singing bowl stuff on it. Yeah. And it's usually singing bowl with me singing over it.
Yeah. And the words were very Dixie. Yeah, the words were very healing. Um, it's like finding the sun on, a dark day, like things that were like reminders of like, oh wow, the sun is out there. It's like
Oh my
whatever.
God, I have a song called The Sun is Shining for You. And it says, and in the
Oh,
song, it's like, no matter where you're standing, the sun is still shining for you. So it's like, you might feel like you're in the shadows, you might be in the dark. And somewhere out there, though, the sun is shining. And we just kind of have to step outside and step into the light to feel that sunlight again.
yeah, yeah. You guys should definitely check it out. Uh,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, and with that said, let's pivot to our question session. So the floor is now open for questions. Anybody has one for Gia? Yeah, the wealth of knowledge.
Oh, well, it's fun to share, and I'm continuing to transform myself because I've loved doing this healing work and being a sound healer, but the universe invited me to shift into a new version, which will be me as a nurse. And so I'm excited to keep growing into those challenges. Like, I'm very aware that there will be a lot of challenges as a nurse, and I'm excited to keep becoming a better version of me through.
Hmm.
What if people take advantage of being helpful and kind? How to deal with that situation? Um, that's on them, like if people feel that they are taking advantage of you, that's their perspective. But if you are conscious of your own boundaries and conscious of your own energy and what you're giving, they can have their dysfunction. They can think that they want to take advantage of you, but you're the one who gives power away or keeps it, and so you decide what you want to give. And if you are a giving person, that's fine for them to take, as long as you feel good about what you give.
Yeah.
That's on them. Like, we can't worry about their motives or their reactions. All we can worry about is our energy. Do we feel good about who we are? Do we feel good about what we're giving? Are we honoring ourselves and our energy? And then, like, the rest is out of our hands. How do I know who I want to become because of this gratitude transformation? Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's personal for each of us, and inside excuse me, inside of each challenge is a different unique opportunity for growth. And so I would say, sometimes if like we're struggling with somebody else and we feel like, oh my God, like they're so greedy or they're so needy or they're so rude or whatever, a lot of times what we're triggered by in others is something that we're working on, growing through ourselves. And so, like, this kind of recently is a situation for me. Like, I have a friend who seems to take more than she gives, and that can be really frustrating and triggering. But I decide, through this specific situation, I want to become a more giving person then. Like, I just don't even want to let that affect me. If she's going to take more than she gives, well, then I give plenty. And then that's the person I want to be. And I'm not going to again, kind of going back to the taking advantage question, that's on her if she wants to take more than she gives. I want to be giving, and that's about me and my energy and who I am as a person. And so I choose to give, and as long as it feels right to me and it feels like it's within my boundaries, then that's who I want to become through the situation. So a lot of times, like, what's triggering us is the key to where we're being invited to grow and transform. If it's about patience, if it's about honesty, if it's about standing up for ourselves, there's every challenge will have sort of like a key in it that says, look, this is what you're struggling with, and this is the invitation to expand more in this direction. Like, I want to expand into somebody who, is more bold, more brave, stronger, whatever it may be. I think specifically what's challenging us can hold the key to where we want to grow into it.
Hey, got another question from Varsha. How do I know how the challenges are helping me grow?
Well, and that's up to each of us really to choose. So it's within us that we determine how we want to grow. Like I said, sometimes we need to just feel our feelings and not, overly worry about how you're growing. Like, maybe you just had a hard day and you just want to let it go. And that's okay too. But it's up to us how we want to grow into each experience. So for me, like with my eating disorder, like, yes, I did grow in terms of learning how to love my body. I did grow in terms of learning how to take care of my body and to feel my soul inside my body. All of that was personal growth for me. But I also decided that I wanted to grow in how I relate with the world. And so that experience helped me become a healer. It helped me become a meditation and spiritual teacher. So it's up to us how far we want to take it. It's like we can learn that, like, okay, today I just need self-care and I'm gonna like let this hard day go. Or maybe like, hey, this is birthing a version of me that like this is gonna inspire my career now. Like
Mm.
we can decide to write a book, we can decide to write a song, we can take our challenge and make magic out of it in whatever way we feel inspired. It kind of just depends on how deep we want to go with it and how maybe how big the challenge is. Some things will be little and we'll move through them quickly, and some things you'll carry with you for a lifetime. And you'll realize that this challenge was something that was meant to be with you forever so that you can become all you're meant to be. And,
Mm.
and I think that's how I feel about the eating disorder thing for me. Like, it's not really going away. It's with me so that I can keep becoming all that I'm meant to be. And it's informing my career. It's informing who I am as a person in relationships. So some challenges are small and we'll do small things with them, and some are huge. We carry them with us for lifetimes even. And and it's a huge tool for transformation. So it's up to us how high we want to go with it, how vast we want and deep we want to go with it. Or some challenges will be like, I don't need to take a lot from this, like maybe I'm learning today I just need to rest, and that's enough for me to learn from this.
Yeah, that's great wisdom. Just giving yourself grace to rest. You know, I think that's very hard as adults. Like we have our tasks and things we need to do, and I think we've become masters at pushing through.
Yes, totally. And rest is like number one. I mean, yoga and meditation are fantastic, but if you're not giving your body rest, I feel like you don't even have the energy and inspiration to use those other tools. So we have to honor our bodies first, get rest, find balance in our energy, and then tools like meditation are much more helpful when we are in balance energetically and physically.
Yeah. Well, do we have any more questions from the floor or Instagram Live?
Mm-hmm. My mug says, "Get your happy on." Is it backwards for you? Because it's backwards for me.
It is backwards.
But it says, "Get your happy on."
Mine says caffeine queen.
Oh my God, I love that we both have like decorated mugs.
Mine was a gift from my dad. I was like, caffeine queen.
Oh, hi Wes. My client Wes just joined, but we kind of finished Wes, but you could watch the replay.
We did. Yes, this has been an amazing talk. And yeah, if we have any more questions, I guess we'll wrap this up. And Gia, will you just tell us where people find you, find your information, find your music?
Yeah, sure. So my website is divinelygia.com. And that's actually my Instagram handle too. So you can follow me on Instagram. And my Instagram bio has a link to everything you need, my website, all of that. My music's on Spotify as well, as Divinely Gia, but you can just go to my website and find everything you need. And I do suggest following me on Instagram and Facebook as Divinely Gia so that we can stay connected and you can find out about what I'm sharing next.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, a couple more questions if you want to. We have time.
Sure. Let's do it. Let's do it because Wes is here.
Yay!
Um,
What?
what
Oh,
if the challenging situation is our fault? That's like the real that's the real opportunity to grow, I think, because if we can see how we directly were involved in it, then we can really look honestly at what we can do differently. And I don't think fault is a good um I feel like meaning that it's your fault, that's maybe not the best perspective on it, but maybe, wow, I'm really aware of how involved I was in this outcome. And now I want to take responsibility and ownership of my energy, my actions, my thoughts, and my feelings. And I want to do something different with it. So while it's really painful when we think something is our fault, I think it's an even better opportunity, an even bigger opportunity to decide to grow through it and to say, look, if I was involved in this way, then I can change my own actions, my own behavior, and I can shift this outcome in the future. So while painful, I think it is a powerful opportunity to grow. Um, how can I feel upset and grateful at the same time? I do think this is a part of the process. We have to feel upset first. I think maybe we can't rush the gratitude. So maybe it's not the best. I mean, sure, we can find gratitude for the good things while we're also feeling upset about the painful things. But to find gratitude in the painful things, I think we have to really feel it first. I think we have to let ourselves express all that emotion, whether through journaling or crying or breathing or exercising or just sitting with it, until we feel like we've expressed it. And sometimes that's just witnessing the feelings in our body, like just watching the physical energy of emotion move through us is enough to let it pass. And then gratitude can come in. So I think maybe sometimes we try to rush gratitude and say, well, I don't want to feel upset. I'm just going to feel grateful about this. But I think it's important to honor the emotion first. And then, you know, the gratitude is accessible. But we, like I said, you can also find gratitude for the positive things and genuinely feel good about those things, even while maybe you're hurting for other things.
Yeah, that's great. Don't rush the gratitude. I
Don't
think
rush it. It's a good process. Okay, well, I think that was kind of all the questions. Hi, Mom. My mom just hopped on.
good. Oh, amazing. Mom is very hip then on Instagram. I'm still trying to get my mom to understand the world.
Really? I mean, that's cool though, because then she's not like, my mom and I are on social media connecting a lot, and
Oh,
sometimes it's nice to just like have your mom for yourself.
yes, just mother and I.
Oh, well, Mom, if you missed it, you can watch. You did miss it, so you can watch the replay.
It's one. It's a great one, Gia's.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah. You were a fantastic interviewer, and I enjoyed connecting with you today. I wish we could have heard more about you and your story, but do you do these lives as well?
I do, yes. If you dig deep into the pages, you'll see some of my teachings on there.
Oh, good. And are you coming back as a live?
I am. Next week, I'm teaching how nature can help heal you.
Oh,
Um,
good. Okay, well, I'd like to tune in. Is it Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific again?
yes, every Saturday at 8 a.m., JoyScore has a mental health talk. Yeah, and they were very encouraging and informative. I've learned so much.
Yay! Well, everyone, make sure you tune in on Saturday for Sarah's talk. That sounds amazing, how nature can heal you. And you live in LA, so that's like hard to find nature.
You got to drive a little, yes. Yeah, during the pandemic, I moved to the mountains, like in a guest house.
Oh,
So I kind of did a pivot in my life, like, oh, the noise was getting too much in the city.
I
Um,
feel that. Well,
so I've
and
been,
you know what though? Nature is everywhere. We really can tune in, even in the city. There's trees, there's birds, you've got
yeah.
the ocean. So you've got clouds. Clouds are my favorite. I love to
Oh, you
tune
see,
into nature through the sky.
LA struggles for clouds sometimes.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I'm like, amazing.
Okay, we had one more question. Should we go with it?
Sure. Okay. Last
Okay.
question.
Last question, and then we're signing off. You talk about situations. What if there is nothing good about the situation? How can we boost ourselves? That's all perspective. I think saying there's nothing good about it is a matter of choosing to see it that way. And so this is where we get to take our power back and say, I determine what is good and what is right and and how I'm going to look at this. So, you know, it's easy to immediately label something as negative or label something as bad or label something as wrong because it's not the way we wanted it to turn out or we're disappointed. But when we pull our energy back and we say, okay, look, how can I shift my perspective on this? We always find something good. We always find something that's helpful. We always find magic in it and something that we can transform through. So it's a matter of perspective. And we usually don't have, that perspective isn't accessible until we have felt our feelings around it. So we got to feel our hurt. We got to feel our disappointment. And then we have the energy and accessibility to say, something good did happen in this. There was something, positive about it. And wow, I realized I'm becoming more helpful. I realized I'm growing in this way. So give it time, breathe through the feelings, and then you'll have the perspective to be able to see the good in all of it. Really, it could all be beautiful if we choose.
Oh, that's so true. Gosh, well, thank you, Gia, so much. Everybody tuning in, check out Gia, finally Gia, on Instagram
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
her web.
Thank you for having me, Sarah. I hope to connect with you again soon. And thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yes, thank you guys. Have a good Saturday. And thank you, Gia. I feel very encouraged.
Aw, I feel very positive. I'm excited to just take this energy with me. And if you guys are just tuning in now, you can always watch the replay on JoyScore's page. Love you, Mir. Oh, yay, Miriam's here.
Oh,
Awesome. Okay, we'll see you guys later.
bye.
Bye.